Hi guys, ShiningPolaris again. This video I did not talk about in my last because this match basically was like 4 or 5 matches in one. This was the Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara Elite Deletion match. And this was really crazy. I had absolutely no clue what the Elite Deletion thing is. All I knew it took place at the Hardy compound. But even so, I thought it was still going to be inside the ring, and it didn't. It was a cinematic match, which is for good reason because you don't want these two getting hurt. Their feud, Sammy and Matt's feud, has been cursed from the beginning. They've each gotten hurt every time they faced each other in the ring. And then, of course, at All Out, you had that very scary thing happen when Matt jumped from the scissor lift and landed on his head. So we thought that was going to be over for them because this is a very cursed feud. But I know they both just wanted this storyline to just end on a high note. So they went and made this match. So this is a cinematic match. And this was so much fun to watch. So we're just going to talk about it in detail. So it first started out with Sammy in a go-kart, and then he sees that the Vanguard one come in, and then the Vanguard one did a hologram of Matt Hardy, and they were just jaw-jacking right there. Again with the expectation. It's funny and it's just really crazy. Okay, so you had that, and then Matt Hardy comes in and he had one of them big wheel truck thingies, and he smashes Sammy's golf cart with it. So I guess you could say the first match in this huge match was Matt and Sammy going at it in the woods, and then coming up to the driveway to Matt's house. And oh my God, Matt has a huge house with huge land. I mean, I did not know it was that big. But yeah, so you have, Matt slamming Sammy's face into the trees, and then as they go up the driveway, there's a fountain there. And then, Sammy tries to drown Matt in the fountain, and somehow in the fountain is Matt's weird looking staff, which he goes and he hits Sammy a couple times with it. Then they take it to the backyard, which randomly is a full AEW ring there with lights and everything. I think that was I laughed. I don't know why that was so funny to me. So then they took it to the ring up there, as they also had tables set up and stuff. So Matt took a table, put it in the ring, and he sets it up, and then he throws Sammy through that table, which as a result, Santana Ortiz comes in to help Sammy out, and those two start battling. Matt grabs a radio, calls it, and he's like, I need help, which signals to Private Party, which they're parked outside, to come over and help him. So there you go. Then you have a whole nother match right there, which is in the ring. You got basically Santana Ortiz versus Private Party. So they started so as Private Party and Santana Ortiz doing their own thing in the ring, Matt and Sammy went back out, and they started fighting in the mud. And then as they were done fighting in the mud, you see a hooded man tied up another guy, and he is telling Matt that he was Sammy's mentor and he is going to be on Sammy's side. And then as he took the hood off, he revealed, big reveal of the night, this was Gangrel. I was like, why is he in here? Gangrel was in there, and then the man he tied up was Hurricane Helms. That was really funny. So they start. It was Hurricane Helms and Sammy start going at it, and he threw Hurricane into their little lake on the side, which is the lake of Resurrection. Again, the very, very strange match. It was very funny. And then so he comes out, so Hurricane Helm comes out as a different form of himself, as a reporter, and then he tries to go to Sammy, ask him questions. Sammy goes, hits him, throws him back into the water, which turns him back into Hurricane Helm. I don't know. They went and they go right back into the ring, and you see more of Private Party and Santana Ortiz battling it out. But you have Gangrel also fighting Private Party. It was just a big, huge brawl over there. Then uh, Matt and Sammy, they started again fighting off the ring, and now they're slowly getting into this big barn garage thingy, and then you see Gangrel and Santana Ortiz start walking towards the garage too, as Sammy and Matt get into the garage. He calls for Vanguard to close it, so close the dome of deletion. And so they went in and closed the garage door, so now all the people, they're outside, they can't interfere anymore, so now it's straight up 1-to-1 match, which again, this could be the next part of this match. Now it's the true 1-to-1 matchup with Sammy and Matt. So then in this dome of deletion, they have a ring in there, and Sammy starts. This is to me the more brutal part of the match. So Sammy takes the ring rope, and there's like a hook there, to attach that to the side. He gets that, and he hits Matt a couple times with the hook of the ring, and then he also like ties the rope around Matt's neck and tries to choke him out. Sammy releases him, and then as Matt's about, he's still like half passed out. Took Matt, put it on a table that is set up. In the ring is already set up a very, very tall ladder and a table. So he grabs Matt, sets him up on the table. Sammy climbs this super tall ladder, which actually touches to their ceiling, and it's like I said, it's like a barn or something. So it's very tall. And then Sammy goes and he dives right into Matt onto the table. Then Matt, he gets up and he does a twist of fate to Sammy, and then I think he went and spears Sammy outside of the ring onto other tables that were set down. Now they did a cinematic cut, so it was like a weird angle, so you actually didn't see him slam him off the side. But as they do the cut onto the floor, you see Sammy, back of his head with blood coming out. That's obviously a little like wink to the All Out accident, which was very uncomfortable to see, because you kind of like, since that really happened, you kind of like, that's weird that they would joke about that, but it happened to them, so I guess it's okay that they could joke about it. But anywho, so you see Sammy, he's like really bleeding on the ground, which I believe is all fake, because again, cinematic match. But he's bleeding from his mouth, bleeding from the back of the head. Then Matt comes with a chair and then hits Sammy right in the face, like above the eyebrow. Again, another wink of his other accident that he had when Sammy threw the chair at Matt. And then so Sammy is basically dead at this point, and he is like face down on the ground, just completely lifeless. Matt has a chair, ends the match with like hitting Sammy in the back of the head with the chair, and then screaming that it's over, it's over. So he pins him 1, 2, 3. Matt wins it. Then he gets Private Party, and they dump him into like a trash can, and then outside is a truck. They throw the trash can into the truck. I can't remember who it was. Cameo, somebody was driving in that truck, can't remember who it was, sorry. And then they drove off, and then you have Matt with his wife, Hurricane Helms, and Private Party celebrating with the fireworks in there. This was really cool. I actually really liked this a lot. I actually forgot another thing on the match. Fireworks were very heavily involved in this, which I think looked really, really cool to have it in the dark woods, and they're just like Sammy and Matt are just blowing the Roman candles off of each other, and you see the sound, and you see the lights. It was really cool. So very silly match. At the end, it got kind of brutal, but overall, I really, really liked it, and I had no idea how this match would turn out. Of course, a lot of very cool cameos in this match as well. And I think that put a smile on a lot of people's faces as they're watching the pay-per-view. So yeah, very, very cool match. This should be the absolute end of this story, because of course that Sammy is going to start hopefully start his rivalry with MJF. You have all that inner circle stuff. So that is finally done, and it was done on a high note. So good for them. That was a very fun match. So yeah, just wanted to talk about that in more detail because it was crazy. And as I did, I went and I bought these stickers because I thought they were very cute. But it's of course of Sammy and Matt. So so yeah, so there you go. Dino Champ made those stickers anyway. So yeah, there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Just wanted to speak on that in more detail. And you can watch my other 2 videos of Full Gear, which are very long. So just letting you know, but please watch those if you like. Thank you so much, guys. Follow me on everywhere at ShiningPolaris, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.